you just think about like AI is a person who is actually working with us, who is a fresher.
Yeah.
Suppose. Just think about like that.
Okay, that's an interesting thought,
just a fresher or see, that is actually we evaluate based on the maturity of that model and all. But
so the expectations have gone high.
yeah, definitely.
Much high.
It's actually right now. It's actually very high right now from the customers. So this is an example or scenario that I am just estimating. So what we are thinking is our thought process is like how AI can be implemented. You asked me a lot of questions regarding AI.
Yeah.
So what is your thought process on AI? Like on a technical way or as a technical person, we know like what we can do. But so what is the benefits or what is the demerits that you are actually getting when this AI came?
Hi, welcome to Reflect Talks, a series of video conversations in which the leaders at Reflections talk about their journey with technology, the transformation that is happening in the industry as a result of AI adoption, and how Reflections is navigating the space. Today we have with us Syam Kumar M, heading Solution Architecture and UI UX at Reflections. Syam is going to talk to us about his experience with technology and how Reflections is thinking differently to adapt to this new situation in which AI is massively disrupting our current practices and thought systems. Hi Syam,
Hi.
Welcome. Happy to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And you have a long experience with technology. You started 18 years back. And can you just explain the journey? It would be inspiring for many.
Yeah, okay. So as you said, like I started my career around 18 years back. At that time, it is not like we have this kind of network or means internet availability. Like internet is there, but like I can't say like this much of tools or this much of helpers from the web itself we have. Even though we are actually started coding in Notepad++ and all. So we don't have a mature editor at that time. From that point to this point, it's like a big revolution or something like that.
Very fast.
Very fast too. Like, I started my career at 18 years, but I got all these kind of helps from I think around 8+ years back. At that time. So it's like the maturity of this kind of the technical maturity and this what we are actually getting right now. It is unbelievable. Like we are getting right now the people who are actually having 8 years or the kids which are 8 years or 9 years, they can also do a lot of coding, lot of IT related things and all with the help of the search engines, the AI and all. So it's like a very big revolution kind of thing that we got. And as I said, like at that time it is like not like by splitting up all these tasks into different teams and all, like front end, back end, DevOps, even full stack was not there at that time. So what we done is like we will do all the things like front end, back end. So
what kind of a generalist?
Generalist, yeah. At that time, all people are full stack, as per my understanding. So it's like they will do all kind of things and all. But right now, it's like we have specialists on different regions. Like front end, we have a particular team. Back end, we have team and all. Like what would we say? Like UA stack, service stack, full stack. So DevOps. So it's like these are all the maturities that we are actually seeing or like we are noticing in this industry itself. So yeah, Basically, it's actually we saw a lot of changes in the industry itself.
So, like as you said, when we are standing at this point, it is not only to people who are adept to technology, for people who are outsiders, commoners also, we are talking about AI in a big way. Everywhere AI is transforming things. Like sometimes people are scared about their jobs. Even when it comes to software engineering, there have been many statements which predict a kind of scary future. So in this situation, how do you see when it comes to coding and all, people talk a lot about vibe coding, replacing human jobs. How do you see this?
So one way it's actually good, like as you said, like vibe coding. So basically, if you want to create a POC or something within 1 or 2 or 3 days, and we have a lot of such kind of legacy things are around us, like AI and all. It is very easy, like if we are actually vibe coding the things and all, we will get something, a POC perspective, we will get it very easily, and we can do some demos and all. We can fulfill all the such till now we can actually fulfill those activities and all vibe coding. But when we think about like a full-fledged deliverable kind of a thing, vibe coding can do any person who's actually, we can just prompt it, we can
you don't
get
need to be an expert.
We don't need to be an expert. Experts are also doing vibe coding right now.
Okay.
But they have a privilege, like they can, when we generate the code, they can have a privilege, they can go through the code, they can just confirm that this is the correct thing that they generated, and we can reuse that, or we can, that is having the code quality and all. They can have that privilege. But a person who is not related with any of these things, he's actually just prompting, creating some applications and all, doing it. It's in one way it is good, but in another way, like based on quality, based on understandability, based on the specific needs that we need, that we incorporate or that we need to integrate, and reusability, or like integration to a different system and all. So those kind of aspects or those kind of view should be there to generate a code. And the vibe coders, the people who are not related with this particular stuff, they will do something, they will actually generate the code, they will run it, it's okay. So it's not like it's not a bad thing or something, but in one or another way, it's like a what will you say? Like,
there are certain issues.
There will be some issues and all.
So you think that human expertise is so important and it cannot be replaced here?
Yeah, because see, you just think about like AI is a person who is actually working with us, who is a fresher.
Yeah.
Suppose. Just think about like that.
Okay, that's an interesting thought,
just a fresher, or see, that is actually we evaluate based on the maturity of that model and all. But just to say, like one person is actually sitting with me, and we are working together. He or she is actually done the coding, pushed it without checking the code and all. It will happen normally. I am not saying like it will be AI or any person who is actually a fresher. Or he's just that person is actually just pushed the code, and it went to the production and done some damage on the production and all. It's okay. But when that person is done the code and giving that to the senior person or something, or reviewing the code, if it's okay, pushing the code. Otherwise, giving back to the person, doing some amendments based on the clarifications, based on the advice and all. He's doing that person is doing the changes and pushing the code. That is entirely a different thing, right?
Yes.
So I am not telling like AI is immature or something like that, but think in that way, like.
The key human intervention at some point is needed. Yeah.
As per my understanding, there should be some human intervention, and it should be done in such a way. But we have agents and all, which is doing the same thing. Agent, or in the sense, we have AI tools itself. Even the current AI tools like ChatGPT or this Copilot or anything, it is actually doing the code review, doing the analysis, code analysis and all. It is also doing the same thing. But I'm telling like for a security sake or like we also need to prefer something like
when it comes to fixing the final accountability and all.
It will be like a process we need to follow right now, but in later cases when we have a confidence like it is actually going proper and all, then we can skip that. It's okay.
Okay, I get you. And when you're talking about all these changes and AI itself, AI agents are doing the coding itself. So how do you see the demands of customers changing?
Yeah, so demand of customers in the sense, as a customer perspective, we have multiple aspects. One a very simple aspect that we can think about is like effort and money. It is actually a related stuff. Effort is equivalent to money, basically. Suppose a customer will think like that. So we have a lot of AI tools around us, AI capabilities with us. So what they will think like, suppose a particular task which is actually need to be completed in 2 months. Why we can complete in 1 month with the help of AI?
Yes. So
they will
fast.
think like that.
Okay.
Because if we do that in 1 month, then there will be two aspects of we can see it in a two aspect. Aspect one is actually we will save time or time equal to money, and also we can save the effort. So most of the clients or most of the customers right now, they are preferring the same thing, and also like quality. With the AI adoption or with the AI implementation, how we can improve our quality, how we can give nice good products, and also like in a quicker way.
So the expectations have gone high.
Yeah, definitely. It's actually right now, it's actually very high right now from the customers.
Yeah.
Also, some customers are coming to us and asking like how much you are actually matured in AI aspect and or like what is your see in if I am saying like reflections, we have a very strong AI adoption framework and all, and we in some of the customers we are giving AI trainings as well. AI in SDLC implement. We are implementing our AI adoption framework to different companies, different customers throughout their processes as well as SDLC processes. So we are training their employees as well right now.
Syam, you said customer demands have changed and their expectations are so high. So in this context, how do you incorporate AI in the solutions that you develop for the customers?
Okay, so basically in a solution perspective, what we are actually thinking is like, so if you are actually creating a solution or like planning to implement a particular solution, what we are thinking is like how that particular solution or like particular approach will be will have a particular value or like a value addition based on this AI implementation. So for example, if we are actually planning to create a particular solution for a fabric industry or something, so suppose they have a use case or something like that, which is actually they are actually spending millions of money on that particular use case. We need to give a solution for replacing or automating or digitizing that particular use case, suppose. So basically what we will do is like we will think like how AI can be embedded into that solution or like use cases so that it will become more easy, more organized, or more or give more value add to the business. So this is an example or scenario that I am just estimating. So what we are thinking is our thought process is like how AI can be implemented or how AI can be leveraged in our solution so that that solution become more feasible, more value add on to the customer. So that that is our thought process. Reflections basically, we are thinking in such a way that how agents can be organized in a particular use case, how these agents, dedicated agents can be done a particular process. So if we have a particular workflow, if we divide that workflow into different small pieces or small logical pieces, and all, how particular agents can be done that particular process in a very effective way, agent to agent communication, how can be possible. So that kind of solutioning, or that kind of an aspect we are thinking right now in a reflections perspective, and we have done a lot of such kind of solutions right now for our customers.
Syam, in this context, thinking about and discussing UI UX is also very important because you are also heading that practice. So when all these come together, how is it impacting UI UX?
Yeah, so simply saying like UI UX, which is actually not a static one or something. Every time, based on demand, based on user perspective, based on generation itself, this is actually keep changing, the UI UX and all. So basically, if you say like, for example, a website who is actually developed 5 years before, we can't say like this much of interactions, or we can't see such kind of interactions, or like such kind of maybe lot of detailed pages or something like that. And right now it is actually single page application with all the things and all. Will be there, lot of interaction, lot of animations, lot of based on supported technologies and all. It will vary basically. There will be, right now it is actually a lot of countries is actually having strict ADA compliance properties and all, like disabled people should easily leverage the website services and all. So there are a lot of standardization, WGA standards and all. So a lot of things are there. But when coming to the AI perspective or AI applicability and all, right now, like Figma is actually having Figma AI component. So what it will do is like it will help the UI UX developers and all. It will create. It will help to create workflow, prototypes. It will create for creating designs and all, making it into very easily clickable prototypes and all. And also it will be like developer friendly kind of designs, and even it can be easily converted into code, and assets management, all kind of things is actually very easy as when we are actually connecting with AI or thinking with AI, or like
and leveraging AI. And at the same time, for reflections, it is always human-centric AI, right?
Human-centric AI, we are actually having for reflections, we have a framework kind of thing, which is actually for a particular UI UX designing or something like that. We will undergo a set of activities, or like I can broadly say like heuristic evaluation, user interviews, and just like evaluating the user needs, how we can actually convert that into design, wireframing, prototyping. So a lot of such kind of activity. Even we are actually we are giving services like UX auditing and all for our customers. Even some of our customers doesn't have a UI UX practice kind of thing. They came up with some websites or with some services and all. We done the UX audit and all. We had given a lot of insights. They had converted it into a new, as part of the modernization and all, they converted that into a new design, user-centric designs, ADA compliant design and all. They were happy, and because of our approach, what they suggested is like they also should have such kind of a UX practice kind of thing, and they implemented the same thing in their company
With
itself,
our
and
support.
with our support, with our help, and all, with our framework.
Okay.
So such kind of activities are happening, and right now the UX team is actually very much effectively using the AI capabilities and all, and where they are very eager to actually adopt AI services and all, and they are doing a lot of researches as well on this. And also, like right now, initially I told like vibe coding
Yes.
is not like a very best practice, but our UX team is actually very good in vibe coding also.
Okay. And when we think about all these achievements and when we talk about the things like, the implementations that we have done for our customers, it is always important that we have a well-equipped, upskilled team. So what are the initiatives that you have to upskill the team? And also there is an app development community and all. Can you elaborate?
So basically, because we started, as you said, like we have an app dev community initiative, which we started in recently. We started it, but like we have such kind of communities was there, but it is not like in an organized or in a framework kind of thing. But right now, our new CEO, he is actually very eager to have such kind of communities or such kind of activities should be there in the company. So we started, or we frameworked a particular stuff, and we started it. We have different such kind of communities, but app dev community is the biggest one that we are actually right now built. And this app dev community basically is a platform where all the application developer people will come together, do some brainstorming, do a lot of activities, do a lot of insights on what they are doing, and they are actually keep sharing their knowledge to their colleagues. So and also like cross-platform knowledge sharing, and also like upskilling, cross-skilling.
So the key pillar is collaboration.
Yeah, so it is actually creating an environment to collaborate. Collaborate in the sense mingling together, sharing their knowledge. So as you asked, like upskilling, cross-skilling, right? So we have a very big initiative, which is to make people upskilling. When suppose a particular technology, a person is actually working in a particular technology, that person need to gain good knowledge on or advanced knowledge on that particular technology itself. So we will do some upskilling programs or something like that, which is a frequent training program. Sometimes we will actually take external panels, or sometimes we will do it with internal panels itself, and we'll do that. So that is actually one way that is good for that particular person, and the other way it is actually good for reflections itself. Like we can showcase them, or we can show them to our customers and all, and they can, and we can place them into different accounts. So one way is that cross-skilling is actually one person is actually working in a particular technology. That person need to eager to learn new things and all. So what we will do is like whatever the customer demand or whatever technology that is actually booming at that time, we will give training for that particular person on that technology, and that person will become expert on that technology, and that person can be placed to any account or anything. So these are all beneficial to reflections and also that particular person.
So, it is always in a mutual journey. When individuals grow, company grows that way.
And also like we are doing a lot of other activities as well, like running hackathons in between. If a customer customer is actually coming with a need, and suppose they have some requirements which is actually very vague or something like that, or they need a lot of such kind of solutions or business value solutions and all, what we will do is like we will do some ideathons or hackathons or something like that in between the community, or like overall throughout the organization and all, and we will actually evolve a lot of ideas and all that will get implemented on that for that particular customer. So such kind of activities are also happening.
So it's a collective effort and also collective atmosphere of learning together.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, correct.
So when this change is happening, a change in the industry, change in the technology, everything is happening at such a breakneck speed. So how do you see the future? For example, especially in the context of AI, how do you see the future when it comes to the industry, and how do you see the future of Reflections adapting to this?
So as I said earlier, like we are actually well equipped, and we are doing lot of activities in AI, and also we are equipping the people to make them comfortable and make them very technology agnostic people. And also what we are thinking is like we are not supposed to think in a way like AI is actually coming. People are not up to mark, and they become jobless and all. So that kind of activities are not we are actually planning. What we are thinking is like how this AI adoption can be beneficial to Reflections. Reflections is actually the people in the Reflections will be part of our organization. So how this can be beneficial for Reflections as a company, for people working in the company, and also the customer. So we are thinking in that way, like making the people more efficient in AI. That will actually benefit both company and also for customers.
So the thought is not about fear, but about the possibility.
Possibility, and also it will be a good opportunity for people to upskill, to make them more productive. See, people will say like hard work is not the case, smart work is the best thing, right? Similarly, right now the smart work can be done by adopting AI, basically.
Very good.
So we need to think in that way, like we need to adopt AI, we need to do smart work, we need to make benefit of it. So basically that is the thought process. That is why we are actually doing a lot of such kind of activities in organization to make the people more skillable, more AI adaptive, like AI skilled people and all. And that is the main thing that I can say. In a reflection perspective, reflections perspective, the leadership itself is actually very keen or very eager to adopt these things and all, how we can enable all these things for the customers, how customers can be value added based on this AI adoption and all. So that kind of thought process, every time they are actually thinking like that and coming to us like how we can do all these things, and that is the main attitude or main thing that we are actually doing right now. And I think I missed something in your question.
This was the basic thing, Syam. Also, it is very positive to listen to you having this kind of a thought process when many are getting actually scared and skeptical about the future of AI.
See, we think like that. If we are actually split this whole process, like application with this whole development community or like this development initiatives, we can say like execution and planning and execution, right? Planning and leading kind of an activity, and execution will be there. So execution in the sense that can somewhat we can do some changes or some acceleration or some very good initiatives or very good improvements with AI. But for this leadership or like planning and all, a lot of planning anyway, some areas AI can do something. But if my thought process is like in that area and all, there should be a lot of human intervention needed, and that experience really matters on that areas and all.
And also in our conversation before we started recording, you were mentioning about QAing AI.
Yeah.
What is your thought on that?
See, that is actually one of our technical leader kind of a person who's actually very professional enough. So he came up with that idea. Like, see, we are doing a lot of things with AI. So AI is doing things and all coming to us. We are delivering it and all. So how can we assess the quality of the things that generated by AI? Okay, we can do it like manually. We can do that. Thousands of line of code will come from AI. A person who is actually QAing it or reviewing it, and that is actually the coming volume will be very high, and whatever we need to work on, that is actually in a huge code base we need to work on. That is not possible in a normal way. So what we can think about is like an AI itself can actually validate that whatever is generating a QA, or like QAing the thing that is actually generated by AI. That is actually the concept of that, and our QA team is actually working on that, like how we can actually do that, and so it's a lot of research is happening in between.
And when it comes to reflections, when we always talk about innovation, so like while incorporating AI, how do you innovate? Like, is innovation always happening in connection to AI?
Most of the times it is like that. Innovation, right now the trend is like innovations are actually lot of or much related with AI in this industry. And in most of the cases, this is an innovation or a thought process that I just told, yes, right? Yeah. So these kind of activities right now happening, especially in reflections, like we are thinking like that, like how we can make a lot of value adds or a lot of processes based on AI, and how it can be benefited or beneficial for reflections and also the customers, as I told earlier. So basically innovations and all kind of activities, right now it is mostly related with AI. But we have a lot of other things also happening, like based on the domain that we are handling, based on the customer needs, based on what we can achieve or what we can give and add on to customers. So in different ways we are actually having innovations happening, and yeah.
And Syam, listening to you, I'm sure that many of the technologists, many of the youngsters who want to be in the technology field would get inspired. So do you have a message for them? Like, how should they approach technology, and what, your 18-year-old journey with technology, what are your major lessons from that?
Actually, currently, the situation is like a lot of people are actually coming to the industry, making a lot of things, delivering it. And people are in a very comfort zone. Like, we can create anything using AI. That's good. But just think about like vibe coding and all, it's good. But just want to think like what we are actually written or what we done using white coding, how it is actually written, what is the intent of that, and how I can improve that. Because without knowing and delivering these things, that is not beneficial for anybody. Yeah. So think in a way like, yeah, we are very much good in AI and all. We are doing a lot of things with AI. It's okay. But just look into what is actually we are getting from that source, and understand the things, and do it or like make it your own, so that if anything happens, you can easily tackle that, and that will be beneficial for the person itself. Like how see, it's like
how much of yourself is in that process and in the solution?
In the solutioning and in the coding itself, like it's like what we can say, it's like a sword with the two sharp ends.
Okay.
Anything can happen. So just think about like how we can leverage this tools and all, how we can make it more beneficial, how we can make it without making any issue or making any bad impacts to anybody. So yeah, that will be think responsibly and do the coding responsibly.
Very good, Syam. I think that's a very powerful note to end this conversation on, because when you're asking somebody when AI is there, what you're doing, make it your own. That's a very, I think that's a fundamental thought that has to be in the mind of anyone, and not only technologists who gets carried away by the fear regarding whether AI would replace my job or not. So there is always the possibility of making it your own.
Yeah. So, Jyoti, actually, it was a nice conversation with you, but you asked me a lot of questions regarding AI.
Yeah.
So, what is your thought process on AI? Like, on a technical way, or as a technical person, we know like what we can do. But so, what is the benefits or what is the demerits that you are actually getting when this AI came?
So the thing is, the first time I think in the series of conversation that I am answering, one question. So basically it is like, for writing, like if you are using AI, I do like miss that my own thing. That is like what you said. So when you write something on your own, there is a process, there's a thought process that is happening. So when I depend on AI for something, I do miss that thought process. Sometimes it's easy.
You become in a comfort zone, right?
Yeah, that intellectual effort, sometimes the process matters. Sometimes things are very easy. For example, one area you're not very thorough about it. For some technological thing, you may depend on that, but I don't think completely depending on that would help a human being, a creative person, a thinking person. I don't think it will work. I think that creative satisfaction comes when you put in your own effort, when you think, when you make mistakes, when you correct. Sometimes when I'm using AI, I have to spend the same time correcting, making it my own. So sometimes it is easy, but I won't advocate complete dependence on that.
But one positive thing is like for creating a blog or something like that, or writing something on a particular topic. In earlier case, what you need is like you need to refer a lot of books, lot of materials and all. But right now, you can just give that to ChatGPT or like anyone, any AI tool, and you will get a lot of
points.
Whatever you are actually planning to take it within 2 or 3 days, you will get it in 5 minutes.
But the skeleton you will get. But when it comes to creative writing, I
am not telling about writing, but the supporting things you will get it right easily.
Yes. Syam, I think there are so many things to ask you, because it was a very interesting conversation with you. And one thing what I felt special was you are not skeptical about the possibility of human being losing their value in the context of AI. That's a very positive take. Thank you so much for the conversation. Yes. That was Syam Kumar M, heading Solution Architecture and UI UX practice at Reflections, talking about his journey with technology, the changes that are happening in the context of AI disruption, how Reflections is adapting to that. The beautiful part is that he is not pessimistic about the future because of the advent or the coming of AI. He sees possibilities in that, and he has very good message for the upcoming technologist. See you with another technology expert in another episode of Reflect Talks. Thank you.